Hello, everybody, and welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to the regular meeting of the Norwich Historic District Commission, September 15th, 2021 at 5:30. Thank you all for joining us. Just a matter of housekeeping, I'll just ask that if you're not speaking, I would encourage everyone to mute their microphones just to prevent any background noise. That would be super helpful. Thank you all. I'm just going to kind of run over how the meeting will be run. So I'm going to give a brief overview and there'll be a moment for questions at the end. So welcome everyone. For those that don't know me, my name is Regan Miner and I'm the chairman of the Historic District Commission. I wanted to just let everybody know that this meeting is being recorded. The meeting tonight will be broken up into two sections. The first section will be the public hearing, and then the second portion will be the regular meeting. The public hearing is the opportunity for applicants to present their applications to the commission and for the commission to ask applicants questions. Once the public hearing closes, the regular meeting portion of the meeting will then begin. The regular meeting is where the commission discusses and votes on the applications. Applicants are welcome to stay and listen to the regular meeting, but you're not permitted to speak anymore or provide additional information about your application. It is not a requirement to stay during the regular meeting. You're welcome to hop off after you're done speaking during the public hearing. All applicants will receive written notification regarding the commission's decision tomorrow. And thank you all for being here this evening. Are there any questions on what I just reviewed? Hearing none, we'll go straight then into the public hearing, which will open here at 5:32 p.m. The first item on our agenda is COA 464-67 East Town Street, and I believe we do have an applicant here to explain their COA application. So, Dane, I will ask you to take it away.
Hi, hello everybody. This is Dane Rue, 67 East Town Street. Just submitting a COA to replace the gutters on our house. We're getting the replacement ones that we're getting essentially are the same ones as are on the house right now. The difference is that these gutters, when we had the company come out and look at them, they apparently are quite damaged and not hung very well. So we're just getting them replaced so that we can not have leaky gutters and spilling out all over the place. So aluminum gutters are what's currently on the house right now. They're painted a cream color to match the trim. And we'd be going with the exact same type, same aluminum gutters, same locations. There's not going to be any new downspouts or anything new. We're just replacing a like material for a like material, and it'll be the same color as well. Company out in Taftville, Quality Insulation, will be doing the work, and they're quite familiar with historic buildings in Norwich, as they have done gutter work on both the Lathrop Schoolhouse and the Carpenter Silversmith shop next door to us. So I'm happy to entertain any questions if necessary.
Thank you, Dane. Any commission members have questions for the applicant?
This is Tim Dowan. Again, from the picture, the front picture of the house, it's just two downspouts, or is it four downspouts, one in the front and back on either side?
Right now there's two. Right now there's three downspouts, two in the front and one in a back corner. And that one doesn't drain. So I think they're just sticking with the two front downspouts to drain all of them.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
I don't have any questions, Regan. It seems pretty straightforward.
Okay, great. Thanks, Greg. Dane, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so. It's a pretty straightforward. So I think that's about it for me.
Okay. Any further questions for the applicant? Hearing none, Dane, thank you for joining us, and you're welcome to stick around or hop off.
I'll respectfully hop off. Thank you.
Thank you.
Adios.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, so next on our agenda, we have COA 46520 Harlan Road, and I believe we do have an applicant present to discuss the COA. So Jason, I'll let you take it away.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, this is a pretty straightforward procedure. I'm finally putting a furnace in the house, which it has not had since I purchased it. I've always winterized the house. And so in order to put the gas furnace in, it requires a liner. And I'm sorry. Pardon me. Thank you. Okay, as I was saying, the chimney will require a liner because it's a gas fireplace, and the work is to be completed by Don Armstrong of Taftville, who also has done work on the Leffingwell Inn, as well as other buildings in Norwich. And to make the chimney so that it's up to code, after the liner is installed, he has to build 4 small piers and cap the chimney with a flagstone top. And that's the scope of the work. It really has no historical implications. It's just finishing off the top of the existing chimney and putting the liner in.
Great, thank you. Do any commission members have questions for Jason?
Yes, you have a picture there with a stone cap held up by 4 pillars, the top of the chimney. And is that what you're going to ultimately end up with?
Very similar to that. That was provided by Mr. Armstrong of work he has completed.
Okay. But it will be a stone cap and supported as such.
Correct.
Sounds great. Any further questions for the applicant?
Yeah, this is Tim Dallin.
Go ahead, Tim.
So the first picture, is that current, or is that just another site here, whatever? I'm thinking that's current, right? That's a picture of your house, correct?
Yes, I don't have the picture here in front of me presently. Is that the picture I provided, Reagan?
Yeah, you
Correct.
sent me that. Yeah.
So it's with the scaffolding. So the liners themselves, you can see a couple of them peeking out. Do those, as part of the treatment, get other rows to cover that before the 4 pillars, or is the 4 pillars just going to be at the current unit there, and you'll still see some of the liner peeking above?
Okay, what you currently see does not have the liner in it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. The tan or the cream colored chimney.
Correct. That is
right.
That is existing. That is current.
Yeah.
That will not
So-
change. The metal liner will slide down into that.
Correct.
Okay.
But so you did not take down any rows to expose those cream colored?
No, sir. Those have been there since I purchased the home.
Okay.
And that
So-
chimney is from the 1950s. It is not original to the 1700s.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And that chimney provides the fire. There's a fireplace and the furnace liner.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And
The
so
ori-
the four pillars, I don't know how tall they will be, but obviously the stone cap will have to be above those cream colored things. So in the picture of work already done, it looks like it would be more than 4 rows, 4 layers there, I guess, for the pillars before the cap comes on. Otherwise, it would be too close to those cream colored things. So
Correct. But I'm wondering what are you saying 4 layers?
But I'm saying, if you look at the work that was done already by Armstrong, the previous one, right? There's nothing extruding from the top of that chimney. And then before they put the cap on, there are 4 pillars, each of them 1 brick layer wide. So it's that stone cap is sitting on 3 layers, I guess, of on those pillars, right?
It's
And-
sitting on 4 piers that have been built up.
Correct. To a height of 3 layers of brick. And and I'm looking up at the other one, just again, those cream, forgive me for not having the correct terminology, but what is currently peeking out of the chimney itself is those piers are going to have to be much taller than what, in order to clear those cream colored, not inserts, but the liners there, or the inserts, the chimney inserts,
Correct,
I guess.
Correct, but what the work he will complete will be to Norwich Building Code.
Mm-hmm.
This is Greg Johnson. I guess the question, Tim's trying to get at is you've got those old ceramic flues sticking up out of the top of the chimney, and it would look a lot better if Armstrong added additional layers of bricking to come up to cover those, so that then the flue would be level with the surface of the chimney, the same way it is on that picture that you've shown.
And I understand what you're saying, but I'm sure by the time he builds those piers up and you have the shadow of the capstone on top, you're not going to see anything up there anymore. It'll look 100% better.
You can always break the brick stone, take it down a level, because he's putting a pipe in there
He certainly could do that, yes.
versus building up brick around it.
I mean, it's possible he may have to raise the chimney a little bit anyway. I can't tell if it's tall enough above the top of the roof right now.
The existing ceramic block that's there, you're only talking maybe 2 brick layers at best.
Yeah. Well, to me, that looks like more than 2 just from the first picture, but it's up to code right now. I guess what I was getting at was this any other work done to take that down, to expose any of that? Will it be built back up? What you're trying to say is that right now the plan is just to put the piers up after, and a stone cap on top of that, and the shadowing would hide any of the flues. So
The alternative is to leave it as is. And you can look at a silver liner just sticking up out of what's there. Is that the preference?
Well,
no, I don't.
well, no. The other alternative would be to build the bricks up another 2 or 3 layers around the outside of those ceramic flues, or he could break the flues off and just leave the metal, the stainless steel.
Okay, so
liner
gentlemen,
up
tell me what you would like him to do to make it pretty for you.
Reduce the height of the liners shown.
I think the simplest thing is if you look at the second picture you submitted from Armstrong that shows the bluestone cap on top of the piers, and the liner is barely sticking above the lower edge of the bricks. I mean, that's kind of what we'd like to see. So however whatever he has to do to make it look like that, that's what we want to see.
Okay, say that again.
We want it to look like the picture you submitted from Armstrong chimney that shows a completed chimney.
Okay, that is his intent.
I think the thought that Greg was just referring to, Jason, is that in the picture you provided of the completed chimney that Armstrong has done in the past, you can only see the metal flue a little bit, which is what would be ideal. I think the commission is saying it'd be great to try to reduce the ceramic flues so you can not see that as much from the chimney.
And I understand that. I think we're drawing hairs right now, because once you put the cap on and those shadow of the 4 piers that he will build, you're not going to see much of anything.
Well, if we can see it, can we come back and ask you to fix it? No, we don't want to see it.
How about you do this?
I'm being
How about-
facetious.
Because I know you guys love to hang around while work's being completed. So, you know, if you want to hang around there and tell Mr. Armstrong what you like and don't like, be my guest. I will share with him what you all have recommended, and I'm sure he will do it. And I will eat the cost, I'm sure.
So any further questions for Jason? So I think the application is thorough, Jason. I appreciate you sending us your COA and appreciate the additional photos and information that you and I chatted about before. So in the interest of time, does anyone have further questions for Jason or further feedback to provide? Okay, so hearing none, Jason, you're more than welcome to stick around, or you are also more than welcome to hop off, and I will be emailing you tomorrow morning.
Thank you. I don't mean to be adversarial. It's just a lot of work, and I do live out of state, and I spend a lot of money caring for that house, as you all, I'm sure, are aware. So I'm willing to do whatever you folks ask, because I do love and care about the house.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that, Jason, and we can tell it's a gorgeous home, and you do such a great job taking care of it.
Thank you, Jason.
All right, thank you all so much, and thank you, Jason. Like I said, you're welcome to stick around, or you're also welcome to hop off at this time too. So
Thank you.
totally up to you.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm going to move forward on the agenda here to COA 466, which is 14 Mediterranean Lane. And we just had someone join our meeting this evening, so I'm hoping that is someone for 14 Mediterranean Lane.
Yes, this is Steve McCormick from Home Depot.
Hi, Steve. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, these are, I guess, windows that we're doing for the homeowner. And what information do you need from me?
It would be super if you could just kind of give a quick run through of your application and just discuss the scope of work.
All right. So when we replace windows, we basically do inserts unless they want a full frame. A lot of times they go with like an Anderson 400 full frame. I believe, I don't have the order in front of me, but most of the windows basically are pulled from the exterior, and then we insert them from the outside. We leave the interior trim what they have, and then on the outside, we leave the existing trim. They can have a choice of either wrapping it in an aluminum color of their choice, usually white, or they just leave it natural wood and they just paint the trim out there. But we have 6 crews. They're all licensed, insured, and trained in Anderson windows and also Simonton. Those are our 2 manufacturers. And we guarantee 100% customer satisfaction for whatever jobs we do.
Great, thank you. Do any members of the commission have questions for Stephen at this time?
I do.
Go ahead, Greg.
The only thing, they're Anderson, so they're fine windows. You don't want to talk about that. What color are you looking at?
On the exterior,
Yeah.
we normally do white is the most common, and it's in that Fibrex weather resistant material on the outside. They can choose other colors, but I believe the customer is doing the same color of what they have right now on the
That's
outside.
the cream color, yeah, okay.
Right, and then
Good.
the inside, they can choose the natural grain or whatever color they want.
Okay. So am I clear saying it's like a cream color?
Right,
Which is what
exactly.
the rest of the house, yeah, around the windows. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Stephen, this is Richard.
Hi, Richard.
Anderson windows are somewhat familiar to us because we've been through this a few times. First of all, we would not like them to be aluminum clad.
Right, yeah, I agree with you, because if you have an historic house, the aluminum kind of makes it look more modern world. And I tell customers that if you have a historic house or want to keep it, in the true historic look, to just leave them just leave them in the natural, and you can just paint them and keep them maintained.
Yes, well, we feel so strongly about the aluminum that we would not approve it if they were aluminum clad.
Right. Well, if that's the case, then I'm sure the customer would agree not to do aluminum because they want it approved. So we would
Okay.
not wrap, and that's the choice we give the customer. So in this case, since it would deny the application, we won't wrap the exteriors.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Pretty well lit. Yeah, oh, yeah, one other question. Yeah, the window lights, you're doing like for like?
Right. I think the most common is like 6/6, 8/8. So whatever they have in there now, I think they're just doing the same. I can't remember if this is the SDL divided light, if they're just doing the grids in between the glass. Do you recall what they have in there?
No.
I'm trying to look at the application. It does not say in the application what they currently have. So I do not know that. I'm trying to quickly scan to find what the proposed is.
They say replacing it with similar style, no structural changes planned.
Right. So do you have a photograph of the house? Do they have grids in their windows now?
Let's see.
Well,
I'm not sure which one is being replaced, and the pictures of the two windows, I'm thinking, are an example of what was replaced within the last decade, if I'm reading this correctly. I see three pictures, but I'm not sure which window it actually is that's being replaced.
Yeah, so we're going to replace it with a similar. It would look odd to do one odd window differently and have the other two. So we're going to, I'm sure when I was there, we're matching up what they have right now, because that would be totally out of place to do a different style or look of a window and then have it, clash.
Do you know which window in the house is being replaced?
I don't have that in front of me right now. I was sent an email last night, and I just got out of a home. We're quoting some windows, so I would love to pull up the file. If I can stay on, I'll see if this allows me. I'm using my data to speak and all that. So I'm not sure if this will let me. If this will knock me out or not. I'll have to log back in. But if you can give me like 2 minutes, I'll go ahead in there and see if I can pull up the spec sheet on it, and it'll tell us what specs, what if they have grids or no grids, for the window.
Okay, perfect. And I think, Stephen, I had spoken to somebody in your company. I think it was David. I'm not entirely sure, but he said it was a window on the rear of the house, like the rear first floor.
Okay.
That was my understanding.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to pull up on my screen. Hopefully you can still hear me, and I'll see if I can go into our at services screen and pull up. And so basically the address was Mediterranean Avenue, right? What number was it, Tim?
Yeah.
It was 14 Mediterranean Lane.
And what's the
14.
homeowner's last name?
Easily.
Easley, EASLEY.
Yes.
So it has an EY at the end.
Yep, EY at the end, correct.
So EASLEY. Okay, very good. So hang on one second. Let me see if it knocks me out. I'll log right back in a second. All right, hang on.
Okay, take your time, no pressure.
So Regan, he's basically replicating what's there now.
That's my understanding from my emails with I think his name is David from Home Depot. Mhm.
I can still hear you, so
Okay.
apparently
Can hear you too.
it didn't knock me out yet.
Okay, that's good to
All right,
know.
so yeah,
Good.
so I see, okay, so I see the order here. Hang on. I'm opening up their file. I'm opening up their details. All right, so we have a tilt wash, so it's a double hung tilt wash Anderson window, and the exterior color is going to be forest green. I guess that matches. So forest green on the exterior, and of course, natural wood in the inside. And I'm looking to see if they have any. I don't see any grids on here at all. So there'll be no grids on it. So it's just be
What are the number
open.
of vertical, number of bars vertical, number of bars horizontal?
Yeah,
2
so-
by 2 and
Yeah, so it shows none. So basically it'll be no grids at all, no vertical bars or no horizontal bars.
mine says 2 by 2 and 1 by 1 for horizontal, vertical and horizontal.
Oh,
is
okay, so
the spec sheet
let me
that
go,
I was
let me go.
looking at.
That was just my order summary. Let me go to the actual document. 1 second.
Take your time, Stephen. No worries.
Yep. Okay, hang on.
Needs to make sure he gets the right windows this time.
Yep.
I've had it happen.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right, so here we go. Okay, so here's my spec sheet. Okay, so tilt wash is 30. The average size is 36 by 48, but we had it measured exactly. It does have sculpture grids. It's simulated divided light. So these actually have a grid on the inside, a spacer grid in the middle, and a grid on the outside. It's the exact window she has next to it. So she has basically two windows. Another window that she replaced a few years ago. It's the exact one. So it'll be forest green. So it's going to be, it says 2 bars vertical and 1 bar horizontal. So it'll be 6 over 6.
Wait.
So it'll be identical. So it'll be identical to the other one she has in the back there. She has one in the back, and she showed me. So we're doing the exact same window she did a few years ago.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if it's saying that the exterior is this forest green, does that mean that it's wrapped in aluminum that's tinted that green?
No. The window itself comes in forest green, and then she wants the exterior brick mold and trim left like it is. So she wants that all natural. Yeah, so that's not going to be wrapped at all.
So you're saying that the window comes from the factory painted, not wrapped?
It comes painted. Yeah, painted. It's a Fibrex. It's like a vinyl with composites added. So it's actually painted at the factory, like hunter green, forest green.
So are you saying that the paint is made of vinyl or the window is vinyl? You said the word
Yeah,
vinyl, which
the exterior is in Fibrex, and the interior is in wood painted. And she has the insides being painted white, and so the outside is actually painted factory finished with forest green. Yep, so it's permanent. So the window sash and window frame is all forest green, and then the exterior trim, the brick mold or whatever trim she has on the outside, we're not touching. It's being left natural.
okay.
The construction of the window is wood inside and out. For your
No,
material.
the outside is not wood because it would rot. So
Yeah.
all the new windows nowadays, the exterior are either vinyl clad or some kind of vinyl composite. They look like wood, but they
Okay.
won't rot on the outside.
Okay.
And you
Thank you.
called that Fibrex or something.
Fibrex, exactly. Fibrex.
I just Googled that, Tim, and Fibrex says it's a 40% wood fiber, 60% plastic polymer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And
Right.
and again, I'm looking at the spec sheet, and the spec sheet says something about wrap But you're
Yeah,
saying
that just-
that's not,
That's just optional for the customer. They can wrap it in whatever color. So to get the application approved, well, you can put in there, this is approved providing the exterior is not wrapped in any aluminum whatsoever.
gotcha. Thank you.
So,
Okay,
all right, so I'm gonna log out of this file I'm in.
Okay,
So I
great.
didn't get knocked out, thank God. So
No, you're good.
yeah, so I can come back. Let me see if I'm still here. Hang on. Let me see if I can come to my email. I don't know how to get back in here, but I can still hear you. And then hang on. I don't know how to get. I'm
It's
in my
okay.
Zoom.
Take your time, Stephen.
Yeah, I'm looking for my Zoom app. If I'm my Zoom app, it'll probably open it.
While Stephen's searching, do any commission members have further questions for Stephen?
There, I'm back. Okay.
All right. And this is Tim again, Tim Dowan. And again,
Tim.
you're replacing the window, but the trim and the sill, I guess, were not rotted and that they will
Right.
remain as
They're
is.
brick.
So,
Exactly.
Did the homeowner, this is Regan, Stephen, I just have a quick question. Was the homeowner ever contemplating doing a wood window, like an all wood, 100% wood window?
They don't make them anymore unless you go to some special place, because all window manufacturers now won't make a wood exterior because within 20 years they'll rot out. The outside will rot out because of the weather or they'll get some rot. So all the exteriors, Marvin now does fiberglass. So instead of wood, they do fiberglass with a paint coating. And then Anderson does the Fibrex exteriors. And I'm not sure what, some of the other window, like Pella, but even Pella does some kind of a vinyl clad exterior. So to get a true wood window, you'd have to basically go to a special supplier that has all real wood, but then you're going to have the issue of rot occurring on the outside. This is the best way to preserve the exterior look. And really, no one would know if it was wood or not unless they actually went up there and touched it and go, oh, that's actually a vinyl clad or some other material, It's simulated, but look like wood. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you. Sorry, I'm just thinking.
Yep.
Thank you so much. So do other commission members have questions for Stephen?
The the house that we approved for Anderson windows before was, come on, I had it and now I lost it. It was on on Huntington Lane, if you remember, and
Yep.
I was trying to find where I was, that's all. 30 Huntington Lane, if you want to look that up, that has all the information on the Anderson window.
Mhm.
That's supplied by the Anderson regional manager guy.
Mhm. Yeah, I'd have to find that in my file, Richard. I don't have it handy.
Okay, yeah, well, it took me a little bit to dig it out, so.
Yeah.
Well, good information came with the COA. They sent a lot of information on from the
Yeah,
manufacturer.
well, we have a lot more
Actually-
information from the
Okay.
Huntington Lane house.
Right.
So I want to just thank Stephen for being with us. Stephen, if you have no other comments and if the commission has no further questions, you're welcome to stick around and listen to us. Oh, is that?
No, I was talking to my dog.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Greg.
I'm mute.
There we go. Okay. So if there are no further questions for Stephen, or Stephen, if you have nothing further to add, you're welcome to stick around and listen to the remainder of the meeting. When we go into the regular meeting, you will not be permitted to provide additional information or speak at that point. So you're welcome to stick around. You're welcome to hop off. Regardless, I'll be communicating via email with, I think it's been David who I've been emailing with.
Yeah, he's in charge of our permitting process, right?
Okay, so then I would be sending David an email tomorrow regarding the commission's decision. So,
All right, very good. Well,
so like I
thank you
said,
very much. I wish you a good evening. Thanks so much.
thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Regan, this is Jason Largent.
Oh, yes, Jason.
Is it possible for other homeowners during this session to ask questions?
I would think so. This is a public hearing, so
Right.
I don't
Okay,
see why not.
thank So, I had requested permission to do 2 windows and did purchase real wood Marvin windows. They actually do, in fact, still manufacture them. And I installed one. I still need to install the other. But aside from that, you all did approve the little blue house across from me. And I know at that time you were impressing upon them to put in wood windows. And they did, but they installed them with snap-in grids, not real mullions and Mentons. And I have seen what this gentleman is talking about, this Fibrex. I personally have seen it, in Mystic and other communities, Essex, and it is a much better application often than a wood window. And in the case of the one across the street from me, they just look horrible. As a fellow homeowner and someone who's into preservation, I know it's not the ideal, but in this case, it sounds like the homeowner already has similar windows on the back of the house. They're not in the front. I am familiar with 14. You can't even see the back of the house. It, backs up to the ledge there. It seems like it would be a reasonable application in this case.
Thank you so much for your comments, Jason. We
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that. And we appreciate you being here. In the interest of time, I am just going to move forward with the agenda, if that's okay with everybody, unless there's any further comment to make on 14 Mediterranean Lane. All right, hearing none, I'm going to move forward here. The next COA on our agenda is COA 467, which is 8 Ox Hill. And I believe we do have an applicant present to discuss this application. So Sandy, I'll let you take it away.
I would like to put a screen door on the front of my house. I sent pictures there. At one time, there was another door there. The door that's on there now is an original anyway to the house. It's just a door. And the house was built in the early 1900s. So I was thinking something Victorian-ish that would fit in with the style of the house. And the house is gray. I don't want white. I was thinking either black or maroon kind of color. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you for being here this evening. We appreciate it. Do members of the commission have questions for Sandra?
Yeah, that's the Darrow house we're talking about, right? Or
Yep.
the little house next to it.
It's the carriage house, yes.
Okay, and that was built when?
Early
1900s.
Early 1900s. So it's kind of Victorian-ish.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
It's much later than the Darrow house, though.
Yeah. much
Oh,
later.
yes.
Okay,
100 years.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, your
Look.
property is very interesting, Sandra, because you have a couple buildings that are from different centuries, so it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I live 2 houses up from it, as a matter of fact, on Ox Hill here. A question. I guess this is, do we allow screen doors on these old houses? I don't know. Well, if you do, how about just a regular, what I would call a colonial frame, just a regular frame with a screen in it, rather than having, the additions of the Victorian.
Just a plain old wood frame?
Yeah, plain
Well-
old. But
I don't think the naked wood would look good, actually.
No, they're cool.
It would have to be painted
My
gray
thoughts.
or something to,
Yeah, but I think he's just talking about the style.
Well-
the
Yeah.
style, yeah, just plain old,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be fine. That's fine with me. I just thought I'd fancy it up a little.
The door that you've selected, I think is
I'm not gonna get into that.
very nice. It's just, it's a wood door, right?
No, they're not wood doors.
They're not wood.
No.
I
I can find a wood door like that.
Yeah, like Van Dyke's restoration, that sort of thing. Just catalog stuff.
Yeah.
What's the material the door is made of?
I really don't know. I think they might be aluminum
I don't think it was, I think it was vinyl,
or
actually.
vinyl.
I don't think it was
Yeah.
aluminum,
Yeah.
but we could find wood.
I can find wood and do a wood door.
They do make wood doors.
Richard, do you happen to have any experience with wood screen doors? I know that we did one here at the visitor center a couple years ago, and I know Leffingwell has a wooden screen door as well. So Richard or Greg,
Well,
I don't know if you have more experience with that to help Sandra.
Yeah, the wooden screen door at Leffingwell, Greg, I believe that's the one I built. Yeah. That one's not, that was getting to be a close copy of what was there when we replaced it, when now about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it's more. You're talking about the front door in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You know,
spoke,
that was
Go ahead, Greg, sorry.
I spoke with Camilla, who remembers it having a screen door, but the exterior of the screen door were like louvers, you know, on the exterior. So you couldn't see inside, I guess, but that's what used to be there.
yeah.
Like the what?
Yeah, it wasn't an
Same thing
original.
was on the Darrow house too. But this years ago,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
60.
I built that, but it's been quite a while ago now.
Yeah,
Mhm,
but I'm just saying that was there at that point.
mhm.
Yeah, the door that's there now isn't original, and there's places, I sent pictures, there's places that show some other type of door had been there at one time. In addition to the door that's there now, so I don't
Interesting.
know when the place was redone, what happened to the doors.
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
But
So-
I will put in whatever kind of screen door you guys say to put in.
Okay, so this is Tim Dowan. At the end of this, other than the screen door, and you've identified a color or whatever, you provided two examples, Victorian-like, but you hadn't really selected either of those necessarily. That was just the style you originally looked at. But again, we don't know what the material of those doors are, and you haven't really scoped out any of the anything other than those two here, correct?
Well, I've looked at a whole bunch of doors, and those were the ones that seemed to go with the house more than anything. But like I said, I will put on whatever kind of screen door you tell me to put on, because I like a breeze going through the house.
Oh, I don't blame you.
Sounds good.
I don't blame you.
And there, and again, there was a screen door there before. Do we have any pictures or anything? You say you're not sure where the doors went or anything, and you don't have a picture. Does the HDC or anyone have any pictures that would show that door? Richard?
I almost bought that house, and that had an aluminum screen door that was painted gray to match the house.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason. You have a better memory than we do.
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm taking notes. It's hard to take notes and talk at the same time. Thank you so much, Sandra, and for your daughter for being here. I see her in the corner over there. Thank you. Are there any further questions for the applicant from members of the commission? Sandra, do you have anything else you'd care to add?
No, just that, like I said, I will put on whatever kind of screen door you tell me to put on. I'm more than happy to.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, we want you to get that breeze, so we'll make something.
Thank you. Yeah, fall's coming. We need a break.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you. So you ladies are welcome to stick around, or you also are more than welcome to hop off at this time too, whatever is convenient for you. Either way, I'll be in touch with you via email tomorrow.
Okay, we're going to hop.
Bye.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Okay, so the next COA on our agenda here is COA 468, 81 Union, and I believe we do have a couple individuals here to present this application. So Sue and Cole, I'll let you take it away.
I'm the property manager for Reliance Health. This building, I believe, was built in the late 1800s. Long before we owned it, it was divided into 5 apartments, and each apartment has an exit staircase and egress door in the back. In 2017 and 2018, having been approved by the Historic Commission, we replaced the exit stairs, fire exit stairs on the left, and then in 18, the fire exit stairs on the right. Now there are the last set of stairs and decks, which is 2 stories tall, needs to be replaced. So we finally have the money and want to replace them exactly the same way as we replace the others, with simple pressure treated wood that we will just allow to age and just seal with a clear sealer at some point, or clear stain. The contractor is going to be Mattern Construction, and Cole is here from Mattern to answer any technical questions, but the material, I know materials are a big part of what you are asking about, and it is pressure treated, and it is exactly what we did with the other 2 phases.
Thank you, Sue. Yeah, and if you guys need any information from me, just go ahead and fire away.
Sounds good. Thank you, Cole, and thank you, Sue. Any questions from the commission for the applicants? No questions?
No, well, I'm trying to get it. Forgive me, I didn't go through this. So I see 3 pictures. The back ones here. This is apparently being done in different stages, or it's being replaced completely. I'm not quite sure. I understand which is being replaced. What's going on? I guess there's some decking that's rotted, and there's steps that's rotted.
Yes.
So all of it has to.
It's everything on the back of the building. So the ones that were replaced previously actually exit toward the front of the building. So the ones replaced previously, one was on the left side of the building coming down to the porch, and the porch floor was replaced. And then in 2018, the ones on the right, but they exit toward the front of the building. What you're looking at is the back of the building. So it does include 2 decks and 2 sets of stairs. One set of stairs is 2 stories long, and they're pretty badly rotted, and the whole thing will be done as one project.
The platforms, or the stairs and the platforms or the decks will be replaced. So if I looked at that first picture of back stairs, the 2-story one, that whole entryway up to there's a mid landing pad all the way up to the top one, which is a little bit larger deck, that would all be replaced.
Yes.
And then the lower level, which is going out to the other side, 90-degree difference, that's also being replaced.
Yes.
That deck and stairs. So that everything I see that's stairs and decking on the back side is being replaced.
Correct.
Okay. And then in the front, there's a deck. And is there something being from the street view that we're looking at that would?
Those were all replaced in 2017 and 18.
Gotcha. All right. So the first 2 pictures of the back stairs, we're just replacing all of that. They're rotted. It's a safety hazard. And
Yes.
Okay. and it's like with like. So right there, what now is pressure treated, be painted. You said something about letting it weather.
Yes, we'll never paint it. No, we made the mistake of painting it in the past and it just doesn't hold up. So the only thing we'll do is a clear stain to help preserve the wood in a year or two, but we will never paint it.
Okay. All
It's a lot of maintenance to keep up with the paint, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it will match the porch, the new porch, and the other 2 sets of stairs that go toward the front of the building, which are also, will never be painted.
And are those shown somewhere? I'm not necessarily.
If you look at the front, a picture of the front of the house, if you can see the floor of the porch, that's what it will look like. It's
I see. Yeah.
That is weathering.
Gotcha. That's understood. Yep.
Great. Thank you so much, Sue, and thank you so much, Cole. Further questions from the commission for the applicants? Hearing none. Cole and Sue, you're welcome to stick around, or you're also welcome to hop off at this time too. So whatever is convenient for you both. I'll be emailing you, Sue, and I can CC Cole, whatever you would like me to do tomorrow regardless. So you'll be hearing from me.
Okay, great. I think we'll hop off.
Sounds great.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Cole. Thank you, Sue.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. So we have concluded all of the COAs here in the public hearing. Is there any further comment to make during the public hearing before I close the public hearing? Any further comment? Okay, hearing none, I am going to close the public hearing at 6:22 p.m. and open up the regular meeting portion of our meeting this evening. So first item on our regular meeting portion of the agenda is action on COAs. And Tim, since you are vice chairman and this is my house, 67 East Town Street, I would appreciate if you would be able to make the first motion and carry out the voting for this application, because I'm going to abstain. So I would appreciate that if you could. Tim, are you there?
So I'll move that we accept the application as presented.
I'll second it.
All right.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I'm sorry. I was on mute there. Thank you for jumping in. So apologies there.
That's okay. Thanks, Tim.
So if I have to take control of this, is there now any discussion on the motion here of accepting as presented on 67 East Town COA 464? Anyone have any discussion?
No, the application seems in order and appropriate.
Agree. So I will put it to a vote. All in favor? I'm sorry, you have to go. You have to go by.
To go around the thing.
Okay, go
because
ahead.
we're not in. So, Greg J.
Yeah, aye.
Okay. Do we have another Greg there? I think.
Yeah, right here. Aye.
All right.
Yeah.
Nancy.
Aye.
Richard.
Aye.
And I think, does that leave just myself? Aye.
And I will abstain from the vote.
Okay. All right. So the motion passes as the voting record indicates. So on to the next. We'll relieve it and back to you, Regan.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Tim.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wasting no time in getting improvements done.
I know. Well, I'll just add as an aside, these past hurricanes have totally killed us with not having working gutters. So it's mandatory.
Yeah.
Okay, so next item on our agenda, we have COA 465, 20 Harlan Road. And I would entertain a motion to approve the application as presented and submitted. Is there a motion?
Well, to get things rolling, I'll go ahead and make that motion.
Thank you, Greg. Is there a second?
And I'll second it.
Thank you, Tim. And now we can have discussion.
Okay. So the way you had presented it there was as presented, and the applicant did say, hey, he wants it done. He's willing to do it the way we want it. I know that. So from that discussion, I think Greg indicated succinctly that we would like it. I think we would like it done as the second picture indicates, I guess, is what I'm looking at. But first and foremost, we want it done per code. So I'm sure that's going to happen, whatever. So I guess that would be my first. But my own preference would be, as Greg had stated, that that it kind of mimic the completed work that Anderson had done on that other chimney. I'm not sure what others feel about that. In my mind, I know without putting those rows in, all I can think of is those piers are more than 3 or 4 layers long, and before the stone is up there. And I know the shadow would cover it, but I think I would prefer to see that covered somehow, the flues and the cap then topping it. My 2 cents.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Tim.
Mhm.
I mean, I think otherwise it's going to end up being at least 6 bricks tall on those piers, and I think it's going to look a little odd, but it's very possible that they'll have to put additional layers on there anyway, just to be up to code. There's a minimum height that think that the chimney has to be above the rooftop.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
agree
I'm-
with that also. So perhaps the motion could be amended to state we would like it to be in accordance with the second photo.
And within code. So
And within
as long
code.
as right.
Right,
So that's
That sounds
that's my
reasonable.
2 concerns. Right.
yeah, I agree.
Okay, great. So Nancy, are you making an amended motion then? Is that what I'm hearing?
I guess that's what I just did. I made an amended motion. Yes, thank you.
Perfect. Is there a motion on
You said-
Nancy? Sorry, is there a second on Nancy's amended motion?
Could she repeat her motion, please? Could you repeat it?
That the application be approved, providing it is prepared and completed in accordance with the second photograph presented in the application and in accordance with code.
Thank you.
Catherine, how'd you do with that? Was that good?
I'm happy.
I'm asking our recording secretary. Yes, she says good. Thank you. Great. I know she doesn't have audio in her computer, so great.
Yeah.
So, okay, great. So there's been a motion made. Is there a second on the motion?
I'd like to second that.
Thank you, Greg. Any further discussion on the amended motion?
No.
Great. So hearing none, I'm going to do the roll call vote just the way you guys are in my screen. So it'll be different from Tim's roll call, but I'll start with you, Richard.
Aye.
Greg Johnson,
Aye.
Nancy,
Aye.
Greg Farlow,
Aye.
and Tim.
Aye.
And I will also vote aye. Thank you all. The amended motion passes unanimously. So thank you all.
Perfect. All right.
Okay, so moving forward on the agenda, we have COA 466 14 Mediterranean Lane. What I think I'd like to do is have a motion to discuss the application, if that works for everybody. So is there a motion to discuss COA 466 14 Mediterranean Lane?
I move we discuss the application for 466 for 14 Mediterranean Lane.
Thank you, Nancy. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Greg. I appreciate that. So from my standpoint, everything was sounding good until he said the word vinyl, and that scared me a little bit. I'm sure everybody else felt the same way. What I would like to take a moment to try to do is, I know in our past notes, Richard had mentioned 30 Huntington Lane. We had approved Anderson windows there, and I know we had just approved some windows for 34 East Town Street as well. So I kind of wanted to just take a moment to look back on those applications to refresh what material and which window manufacturing company they used. So Richard, I don't know if you have 30 Huntington Lane up sooner than I can get my other one up, but I just want to take a moment.
Had it.
The other one to look
I
at,
went
Regan,
to sleep.
we approved one around the corner from my house on Cemetery Lane,
Oh, yeah.
which
Thank you.
is like 20 or 25 windows.
Yep. Thank you. I remember that. All right. Let me just take a moment, everybody, if you bear with me so I can look in my files.
While you're doing that, I know we're discussing it, but again, we're discussing the rear of the building, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So is it visible? Is that visible to anyone? I just want to double check on them.
I don't think so.
No, I walk up past her house like every morning. You can't see the back of the house at all.
So you're saying it's not visible at all? So
No, not at all. The house is
Well-
kind of to the side of the hill.
yeah. Well, it has to be visible from a public way for us to be concerned.
We shouldn't be concerned.
It's not.
If it is indeed a rear window, then there's no way you can see that from any place unless you go crawl into her backyard.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the backyard gets vertical real quick.
Yeah, you gotta be up on the rocks. Yes.
Sorry, I'm still looking for my stuff here. I don't have everything determined by the house number. I have them per month of the meeting. So I'm going back. Does anyone happen to remember when we approved the Samuel Huntington Mansion windows? I know that was more recently.
Sam Huntington.
Yeah, it was recently.
That was
About
fairly
3 months.
That was just a couple months ago. I just found the one from Cemetery Lane. And
Oh,
that
thank
one
you.
was- And that one was using composite wood windows,
Okay.
which is
Thank
kind
you.
of the
Which is
same
what-
sort of thing.
Thought it is.
No, though I have to say that those windows, because I walk past that house almost every day too. To me, those windows look vinyl-y now that they're installed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the house that was approved before on 30 Huntington Lane is now the purple house,
Mm-hmm.
or violet, whatever, some kind of color like that.
I know they changed the paint color.
Yeah. Then they're trying to sell it.
I'm looking at the, sorry, everybody, this is taking me longer than I wanted it to take. So I'm looking at 34 East Town Street, and they didn't give us in the COA, they didn't tell us who would be actually doing the windows. But let me see. So what we approved was the window sash would be replaced with 6/6 painted wood double pane sash with adhered exterior and interior grills with internal spacer bars. I can repeat that if anyone needs to have that repeated again.
So
By
did
the
they
way,
not
the 30 Huntington
Oh.
Lane was 2018.
Okay. Do you remember the material or how that?
We approved the Andersons after a great battle.
I know.
The same Anderson with the Fibrex?
I'm not sure what the Fibrex is, so I'm.
I looked on the website and the Fibrex, it's a wood plastic composite.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we approved was a window that had a wood vinyl exterior, but a wooden composite interior. It basically was vinyl clad. It was a very strong material, and they gave us a list, which I actually have here, of let's see here. Gave us a list of, here's a list of pre-1950 properties we have done window replacement projects in Norwich. I narrowed down to assist you in your comparison to Norwich historic properties. And the list is 19, about 12 houses.
Well, isn't this outside of our venue then if you can't see it from the road?
Yeah, this is all rather immaterial because it don't even need a COA.
Yeah.
So, oh, sorry, go ahead, Greg.
No, it's just instead of agonizing, if it, it could be easily handled that way. But the fact that it is not visible from the road. But that's something we do want to approach and settle, I think, when we get that final, set of outline of the requirements of the district that you're working on. Should
Yeah,
be in that.
yeah, the design guidelines. Yeah.
But as you know, it's hard to find a window that's all wood. You had to get them made, for 2 Town Street. You know what that's like.
Yes, I know. I had wood windows made multiple times.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the interesting thing is, their proposal is if you looked at the price for the one window, it's youch.
I know, yeah. Yeah.
I know that's not part of what we consider, but
Well,
homeowner does.
I'm not sure that going through Home Depot is the best place for windows, but
No argument for me.
So I think then with this application, the commission needs to make a decision if we move forward to approve or if we return and tell the applicant that in theory, we can't see the window from the street. So therefore it remains out of our jurisdiction.
Yeah, I move that we approve. She's buying a quality product that may not fit our exact likes of what we would prefer to see, but we're not going to see it anyways.
Right.
That's good.
The only thing on my mind is precedent, but we have already kind of set a precedent at this point with agonizing over some of these Anderson windows. So I think as Richard was saying, back in 2018 is when we first had some of these new materials presented to us. That was the moment to encourage a different material, but since the precedent is that I do hesitate to backtrack on that.
So when Greg said on the one where he does walk by that was approved, was that the one that was being described as it was going to be painted wood, but now it looks vinyl-y, or was that a different application?
That was a different application, Tim. That was one on Cemetery Lane, and that we approved. Okay. And it was a different window company too, but it was another composite wood kind of stuff.
All right. Well, okay. Yep.
Yeah. So any further discussion then at this point?
Call for the vote. Or we need a different motion, don't we?
Yes. So I would accept. Sorry. Oh, good. Greg, were you going to say something? Okay, sorry. I would entertain a motion to accept the COA as presented and submitted.
So moved.
Thank you, Richard. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Greg. Further discussion on the motion?
I think when he was describing this, there was whatever the spec sheet was or whatever, I would like that we identify that it would be Fibrix and not vinyl clad, whether that was part of that wrap on the spec sheet or whatever. And he said, yeah, we can change that or do whatever, that we identify it as he at least stated. I can't really tell from the spec sheet exactly what's being there, but whatever we approve, or if we approve, that we would identify that it uses the material, the Fibrix material, and not wrap.
Yep. I can specify that, Tim, when I do the letter and approval.
And I don't think that changes the motion because it was as it was presented. He
Yep.
said Fibrix. Yeah.
Yep, I'll just make sure that's called out specifically.
Yeah, the guy from Home Depot was kind of going around in circles a little bit on the materials. At one point, he talked about aluminum cladding as wrapping.
I think he was saying that is just an option that customers could choose. I'm a little disappointed because what his coworker David submitted to me was not the spec sheet that Stephen was reading off. So I had not seen that or heard that before. So we're going off what he said. So hoping that's the correct spec sheet.
Well, then I would also include then that the pane mimic the existing windows, whatever that is, 2/2 or I can't remember what he said. It was.
I think he said 6/6. I wrote down 6/6.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 6/6. You're right. It was that it match the other windows also.
Yep. So I will then.
That wasn't obvious in the application and or the spec sheet that I saw. So
Yeah, that's correct. I would agree with you there, Tim. So when I send out the approval letter, I will specify and call out the Fibrix and the 6/6 to mimic the existing windows. Okay. Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to do the roll call vote. So Richard, I'll start with you. Kept you muted, my friend.
He's muted. He's asleep. Richard.
I was
Unmute.
muted. Sorry. Aye.
Thanks, Richard. Greg Johnson. Thank you. It's so hard with two Gregs on the commission, man. Nancy.
Aye.
Greg Farlow.
Aye.
Tim.
Aye.
Thank you. And I will say aye as well. So the motion passes unanimously. Thank you all. So next on the agenda, we have COA 467, Adox Hill Road. I think I'll ask for a motion to discuss this application as well. Is there a motion to discuss?
I'd like to discuss it. Make a motion to discuss this application.
Thank you,
And I'll
Greg.
second that.
And there's a
Dallin
thank you.
seconds.
Thank you, Tim. So I had asked Sandra when she submitted this application for the proposed materials for the door, and she had not gotten back to me, and it seems like they're kind of not sure exactly what they want to do, but it sounds like they're open to suggestions. So I would welcome comments from the commission and ways to advise them.
Yeah, I looked up wood screen doors, I'm sorry. And there are several suppliers of them and several styles are available. So what I found was, are you familiar with the store called Wayfair?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, Wayfair's got wooden storm doors, believe it or not. I mean, wooden screen doors.
That's strange. Yeah.
So they run $350 to $400, but and there's several styles available. They're available from several sources, but some of the sources are not wood; they're aluminum and such.
But we'll want to read that. rule out aluminum right away.
Yeah,
Go
I
back
think
to
I'm not
materials they
arguing
had back then, which was wood.
that point. But the doors are available in Victorian through plain, would be a Puritan style through whatever. So.
So they seemed open to our suggestion here, whatever. We certainly want, again, wood material. And it was noted before there may have been aluminum and whatever that was painted, and that didn't look that good. Again, we're talking screen only. It's not a storm door. It's not to be replaced with a glass insert or anything. This is just a screen door, my understanding, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So, and if we prefer wood and it's a screen door, and it's not outside the realm. The only other thing is they did mention the Victorian, and if this comes in a Victorian, does Victorian fit that house again? Is that something that?
Well, that house is a little new for Victorian.
It's like a rental house almost. It is, but it's the same style as the Darrow house. Myself, I think it needs a real basic screen door on it, rather than Victorian, because it's tied right into that Darrow house. Yeah. What, Cammy? Yeah, the house right next door has a screen door, and the front of it's louver. Front of the screens, and it lets all the air in they want. And it could stay on all winter. Protect the house. Just a thought.
So what I'm hearing is that, Richard, if you wouldn't mind sending me some of those examples that you found when you did some research for wood screen doors,
Sure.
I'm happy to send those to the applicant. I also appreciate the comment during the public hearing that originally it was an aluminum gray screen door to match the house. That's helpful information to know. So I'm happy to help advise the homeowner on the best material. I personally would be comfortable if it reverted back to the aluminum gray screen door, or if it was a wood, simple wood colonial era looking door. I'd be comfortable with either of those options.
We're losing you.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, now.
You just start
Okay,
fading
sorry.
out a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Did you hear what I said, or should I repeat that?
No,
Yeah.
just repeat it.
I'm sorry. Okay, I was saying that I'd be comfortable with either having the screen door revert back to being the aluminum screen door that was mentioned during the public hearing, or I'd be comfortable if it was the wood colonial era looking door that we were discussing earlier as well. So I'm happy with either scenario.
Now that falls in the district, does it not? That house?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I just don't like aluminum in that period. That's all. But if
It's
it's painted a little hide.
I liked the fact that it was gray to kind of blend into the house so that you don't really see it as much. That was one of my feelings. So what I'd like to propose then is that we I'd like to propose that we approve the application, but state that we are working with the applicant on determining the best appropriate material for the screen door. Or would you like, or would you like me to be more specific? I'm sorry, Greg, I interrupted you.
No, that's fine. It's just I live 2 houses up, and I just the aluminum just kind of rubs me wrong with the Darrow house. That's all. But otherwise, it'd be fine.
Well, I
If you
could
did painted gray, you wouldn't notice it.
True. I could also amend to say I can work with the applicant to identify an appropriate wood door in the style of their preference.
Wood or aluminum, you want to say.
Style of whose preference?
What I'm looking at is all wood.
Owner.
But don't you have the same problem with the wood screen door that you would with the wood exterior windows? It's just gonna rot. It's not gonna last that long.
Yes, you got the same problems. Won't
So-
dispute that.
I mean, if we're allowing non-wood exterior windows, I'm not sure why we would force her to buy a wood screen door.
Well,
So then the other question is, Richard, are you seeing different styles on the
Yes.
doors that you're looking at?
yes, they're by a company called Kimberly Bay, and there is aluminum. There's also wood, what they call a wood slab doors, and but they're just wood doors, wood
Mhm.
material with screens, but they're only screen doors. All
Yeah.
of these here. This just happens to be what I clicked on the Wayfair one because it was the first one in line. So I'll send you this here as an email.
Okay, great.
So, in my mind, again, they identified a color and maybe a style. They didn't really provide a spec sheet or anything, but they're open to this. Is
Mhm.
there any emergent need that this has to be voted on now, or we can table it and work with them to identify a specific door to this and approve it in a future meeting, the next meeting? I guess, or are we trying to get this done, obviously, so they could use this here, whatever, in time, I guess.
So we
I
could,
think we're trying to get it done so she can have the flowing air, right?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that what you're
yeah.
trying to do, Regan?
yeah, so what we could do is obviously, we could table the application as Tim recommended, but we could also either approve with stipulations or approve with modifications. So we can be
Right.
specific with what we choose to approve.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily want a table or anything, but it doesn't seem like we have a consensus in our amongst ourselves of what we would say aluminum or wood or Victorian or full screen whatever or louvered. I'm not quite sure. I know what we would be providing. Others say pick one of these and you're okay.
Oh. I don't know
Yeah,
about
that's a good
that.
point, Tim.
You really got to be
Yeah.
careful about that one.
Yeah, you can't do that. Regan, what did you mean when you said or the door? You said something like or the door they had before, which was aluminum and gray. Is that how you said it? But do we know what that looked like? Did we ever see that?
No,
No.
I don't
So we
recall.
don't know what that looks like either then, right?
No, I don't know. I could.
Actually, we don't know what
probably-
anything looks like because we haven't seen it.
This is true. Yeah.
Unless you have something kind of vague like, well, we'll continue working with them. Gosh, I don't know. That's a very hazy, vague approval, wouldn't it be? Yeah, but you don't want to stop her air from flowing. I don't know. Let's see.
So I guess I just would at least like to kind of get a consensus on the material from
Yeah.
the commission, because then I can at least work with her on the style
Yeah.
of the door. So I would at least appreciate a consensus on the material. So what does everyone
Well,
feel?
I'll mention I have a storm door on my, two storm doors on my porch, 1890, excuse me. But they were approved and they were aluminum, full screen, full view. Just for, again, that's been years now, whatever. But it was aluminum, it wasn't wooden.
And that's what I have too, Tim.
I think I do too, actually.
So maybe we could suggest either that or the wood, and then you'll work with them on style. Does that make any sense?
I'm comfortable
Yeah.
with that. If people are comfortable with that as well, I can work with them. Maybe Richard and I can do this together because he's
He's the
Well, I'm
doorman.
printing out what the sheet is right now.
I think it sounds reasonable because you could let her get going on her door and she's very flexible. So
What's the
I don't
detail?
know.
Uh-oh,
What do you
Richard,
got
I
there,
can't,
Richard?
can't see that.
This doesn't
Bring it back
focus.
further back. Back.
I gotta go. It's
No,
not
we can't.
focusing on it.
Try putting it in front of your face, Richard, because I think your background is kind of faded.
You look better.
Yeah, that's, no, I have the background blurred, but,
That's okay. You can always send that to me after, Richard. So
Yeah.
what we're discussing at this point, and I'm going to ask for a motion in a moment, is that we would be comfortable with the screen door being aluminum or wood, and that
Mhm.
when it- Greg, did you say something, Greg? Oh, sorry. Okay. So aluminum or wood, and that, how about Regan and Richard will work with the homeowner on their preferred style of the door.
on their preferred style,
Yes, they were mentioning Victorian style.
how about say a preferred style? So it
A pref-
involves your judgment,
Okay.
yours and Richard's judgment as well. A preferred style?
Mutually agreed upon style.
That's kind of what I meant, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about agreed, well, wait a minute, agreed upon. I'd just say a preferred style and kind of leave it. I don't know that you want to have an approval pending an agreement to happen in the future. That's,
Right.
I
I
guess
like, Nancy, I like your wording.
yeah, a
style.
preferred style. That sounds better.
Okay.
It's already vague enough. I don't know. We don't want to tie it to anything that doesn't even sound plausible.
So let me kind of figure out how to read this back out of my scribbles here. So that I would be looking for a motion to approve a aluminum or wood screen door, and Regan and Richard will work with the homeowner on a preferred style of the screen door.
Yes, I would so move.
Okay, great. Is there a second?
I'll second it, being a neighbor. Yeah.
Thanks, Greg. Any further discussion on the motion here?
No.
A picture of it? Oh, excuse me.
Yes,
Camilla has
go
a
ahead.
picture of the door when she was a kid. She's sending it to you.
Okay.
A louvered door. You know, she's been living here since 48. So
Okay, I will wait.
sometime you'll see it. Yeah, let's see what it is.
Okay, great.
We have shit right now. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Cam and Greg. Further discussion?
Now let's call for a vote.
No, let's vote.
All right, we're gonna vote. So Richard,
I,
Greg Johnson,
Aye.
Nancy,
Aye.
Greg Farlow,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
and Regan, aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, guys. Last item on the agenda, COA 468, 81 Union. I would entertain a motion to accept the application as submitted and presented.
So moved.
Thanks, Greg. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Tim. Any discussion? Hearing none. Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's a safety issue also, so even more reason to to consider that.
Mhm, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Excellent. I'll do the roll call vote at this time. So Richard, I'll start with you.
I,
Greg Johnson,
Aye.
Nancy,
Aye.
Greg Farlow,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
and Regan, aye. Thank you all so much. We'll switch down to the approval of minutes of the Wednesday, August 18th, 2021 regular meeting minutes. Is there a motion to accept the minutes as written and submitted?
I so move.
Thank you, Nancy. Is there a second?
Second. Richard?
Thank you, Richard. Any discussion? I'll just say Catherine did a great job as always. Thank you, Catherine. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll do the roll call vote. Richard,
Aye.
Greg,
I'm going to abstain since I wasn't here.
sounds good. Thank you. I meant to say Greg Johnson too. I appreciate that you knew which Greg I meant. Sorry.
I was there.
So Greg Johnson abstains. Nancy,
Aye.
Greg Farlow,
Aye.
thank you. Tim,
Aye.
and Regan, aye. Minutes passed. Thank you so much. The only thing I'll say super quickly under Chairman's report is that our consultant, Chris Skelly, is working on our design guidelines. I have a meeting with him at the end of September to review what he's done so far. He's going to come to Norwich because he wants to take some more photos. So when I've got the date and time locked down with him, I will send notification to members of the commission. And if you're available to meet with him, I would certainly invite that. If not, no worries. I'll obviously report back to the commission following the meeting. So things are moving along, and we do have that. Look at the calendar. On October 21st, we are still discussing having the informational session on updating the design guidelines for members of the public. Does Thursday, October 21st still work for members of this commission?
Again, that's Thursday, correct?
Yep, that would be a day after our regular meeting. Yep. So
Our regular meeting, yeah.
Yeah, we had discussed splitting them up so that the meeting wouldn't just become too complicated with everything. So what Catherine, I might ask you to do with me is submit a special meeting request to the city clerks, and I want to give them as much notice as possible so they are not caught unawares. So Catherine, if you and I could work on that, that'd be super. Okay, great. She says, will do, and date works for me. Thank you all. Great. That's all I have for you at the moment. I don't have any old business. I don't have new business. Our next regular meeting will be Wednesday, October 20th, in addition to the special meeting on the 21st. Anything else to bring before the commission at this time?
No.
Did we figure out what the Zoom level is of how many people can attend?
Oh, I forgot to
IT.
ask that. Yeah, I'll check on that. I forgot about that. Thanks, Tim.
Okay.
Hey, Regan, just one thought I had recently, and I don't want to
Sure.
take a lot of time with it, but maybe just to percolate out there, is that it seems like the city still has a bunch of money that they're sitting on, that they're looking to spend on. I think these money that they got out of COVID, and they're just kind of sitting on.
This thing in here about what they did on.
What about spending some money on some repairs to the cemetery?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah.
I mean, the city has kind of neglected that for the last 20 years. And the latest storms, both of the bridges across the stream between the cemetery and the two halves of the cemetery, the one is in really bad shape now after those storms.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
the wall is kind of damaged with a tree falling in it.
Yeah, I took some photos and sent that to Public Works, and they luckily were already aware of the situation, so they were already working to address it. But that's another good idea, Greg. I'll mention something to the city manager because he's the one in charge of allocating those funds.
Oh, okay.
Not a bad idea.
Once at some point in the past, somebody paid to do some granite nameplates for some of the tombstones that were becoming unreadable, but
Yep.
there's certainly a lot more that could use the same treatment.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great idea. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Anything else? I'm sure we're all hungry for dinner. I would accept a motion to adjourn. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Thank you, Nancy. Is there a second?
Second.
Who's that, Tim?
No, I'm sorry, I was coughing.
I
Someone beat me
seconded
to
Oh,
it.
sorry, Greg. Sorry that you both sounded very
Second,
similar.
second, yes, let's go.
Okay, great. Greg Johnson, second, and thank you. And I'm just going to do roll call one more time, everybody. Just bear with me. So Richard,
Aye.
Greg Johnson,
Aye.
Nancy,
Aye.
Greg Farlow,
Aye.
Tim,
I wonder what would happen if I said nay, but I'm going to say
You
aye.
could stay in the meeting.
If you did, we'd leave you by yourself and say goodbye.
I will also say aye. Thank you all. We are officially adjourned. We'll see you next month at
All
the
right.
regular and special meeting.
Thanks.
Thank
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks.
everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Good night.
Misunderstood.